What's going on, everyone? Chris from Pickdawgz.com here with the free pick in the Ohio State versus Minnesota college football matchup going down Saturday, October 4th, 2025. If you're looking for my best bets, the games that I love, head to Pickdawgz.com. Click the Experts tab at the top of the page. It's a great time to do it because we've got Week 6 college football taking center stage on Saturday, Week 5 NFL. So make sure that you jump on because we've also got, I'm trying to think here, Major League Baseball playoffs this weekend, WNBA finals, as well as the NHL back on Tuesday. So use the promo code PICK at checkout and get 15% off your purchase. But let's get to this one between Ohio State and Minnesota. And Ohio State coming into this one 4-0 on the year, 3-0-1 against the number, coming off a 24-6 victory over Washington on the road in their last matchup, while Minnesota comes in off a 31-28 win over Rutgers in their last game to improve to 3-1 this season. Now, it's worth, looking at Minnesota and just being impressed with what the Golden Gophers have done early on this season. But you take it with a grain of salt because the wins have come against Buffalo, Northwestern State, and Rutgers. And they do have the road loss to Cal mixed in there as well. But what we've noticed is that a lot of these Big Ten teams have had the trouble making the cross-country travel to take on teams like USC and UCLA and Washington. And vice versa, the West Coast teams have at times had trouble going east, which is why I was really impressed with what Ohio State did against Washington. Full transparency, I was on Washington in that game because I felt that Washington, had a lot of the, talent, of their own right and, talent that can match or in some spots maybe even be better than what Ohio State brings to the table. And Ohio State made me eat my words. They made me shut up and they, came out. They beat Texas in their opener. They blew out Ohio and Grambling. And like I said, got an impressive win on the road at Washington when all these teams have struggled going back and forth cross country. Now they go back home here. It's going to be another tricky travel spot. But I just think Ohio State is just the far better team here. And there's no real aspect of look ahead here because they've got road games against Illinois and Wisconsin on deck. Teams that are not a real threat to them. And this is an Ohio State team that I think wants to keep racking up style points to, impress the playoff committee for whatever reason, if in the event they didn't win the Big Ten. I just think Minnesota's outmatched here, just from an overall perspective. This is still a Minnesota team that I am not all that impressed with offensively. 97th in yards per carry, 88th in rushing. They can pass the football, but this is still a top 10 Ohio State pass defense. They're just outside the top 25 against the run. I just see it being a lot for Ohio State here against very little for Minnesota. I can't give too much merit to the numbers for Minnesota, just given the level of competition on the other side, and that Ohio State is going to be the best team that they've gone up against, bar none this season. I just look for Ohio State to run it up here on Minnesota. I'm going to lay the points with the Buckeyes in this one, and that's going to be my free pick. But just a reminder, if you haven't already, make sure you're subscribed to our channel and smash that thumbs up. And if you're looking for my best bets, you can find those at Pickdawgz Premium. While you're Pickdawgz, check out our betting tools. They're 100% free. They're the best betting tools in the business and tools that you want to make sure that you have in your back pocket when you're making your best bets for the day's action. Thanks for watching. See you guys soon.